Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to 2022 Ohio Allies and Advocates. I am so excited that you have all joined us this evening. I just want to let you know that the program will start at 6:15. So until then, please continue to meet new friends, say hello to old ones, grab a drink, and have a couple of appetizers. See you then. Hello again, everyone. This is your 5-minute warning. Our program will begin in 5 minutes, so please refill your drinks and your plates, find a comfy spot, and settle in for our wonderful program.
Okay, hold on. I got an idea. Switch with me. I want to be on, because then I can kind of be in the corner and slide out. What do you think?
Slide
No?
out.
No. Oh, you're fine.
I'll slide out and then I'll be off the stage.
Just do your thing.
You sure?
Yeah.
Where you want me?
Yeah. No, I was gonna go on the corner. Yes, like this. Yes.
Ready? Good evening. Can I have everybody's attention, please? Welcome, everybody. If we could have your attention for just a few moments. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Ohio Allies and Advocates 2022 here at the Great American Ballpark, live in Cincinnati, and live streaming across the rest of the state of Ohio. Hello to all my family and friends watching back in Cleveland. Hi, Addie. Hi, Andy. We are so incredibly excited for you to be with us this evening. I'm Joe Metazeski. I use he, him pronouns, and I have the great privilege as serving as the chair of the board of Equality Ohio Education Fund, our C3 organization.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Amanda Everett. I use she, her pronouns, and I have the great privilege of serving as board chair for our C4 Board of Directors. I just want to give a wonderful welcome to all of you here in person, and also welcome all of our friends who are watching online.
We cannot wait for you all to learn more about our incredible slate of honorees this evening. In fact, tonight marks the first large-scale, in-person event Equality Ohio has done in Cincinnati in over 3 years, and we are so happy to be back with all of you this evening. For those of you that are joining us for your first Equality Ohio event, welcome. We are incredibly happy to have you with us to meet our incredible team. We urge you to ask questions, to get answers, and to learn more about all that Equality Ohio does. Now, we are especially thankful for our corporate partners who are with us this evening. Their support is about so much more than dollars, though as I always say, the dollars are also very important. But it's about resourcing our community to make sure we all have equal access to equality regardless of our sexual orientation, our gender identity, or gender expression. So, we say a big thank you to these important partners who make nights like tonight and all that Equality Ohio does possible. Please join me in thanking our builders of equality, our defenders of equality, our sustainers of equality, and champions of equality who are scrolling on the screen as I speak. Please help me in joining a round of applause for our partners of equality, CHW Advisors, Nationwide, and the firm I'm proud to call home, Ernst & Young. Thank you to our cultivators of equality, the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, Bath & Body Works, and PFLAG National. And a very big thank you to our presenting sponsor yet again, Eaton Corporation. And of course, Amanda and I need to give a big thanks to a group of people that without their unwavering commitment to the work of this organization every day, nights like tonight would not be possible. Our Executive Director, Elena Jochum, our Deputy Director, Siobhan Boyd-Nelson, and the entire staff and team at Equality Ohio, we thank you.
Just as important as our corporate sponsors are the individuals who make personal investments in this work. I'd like to thank the incredible host committee that also includes a Obergefell and Arthur Society, our major donor society, and represents communities all across this state. We are so grateful for your partnership and belief in a more welcoming and affirming Ohio. If you're in the room tonight and are a member, please raise your hands, and if you're online, say hello in the chat, please. We truly couldn't do this work without your investments, and now it's more critical than ever, so we are truly grateful. Finally, I'd like to thank my fellow board members for their incredible commitment and efforts to ensure that Equality Ohio remains the strong, resourced organization that this state truly needs. Those who are in the room with us tonight, can you please give a wave? Because I know I've got a bunch of board members here. I'm not seeing there they are. They're all in the back. I don't know what that says. And I know we also have board members online, so please Join us in saying hello in the chat for our board members that are online with us this evening. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
We are so excited that we are getting a video up from our presenting sponsor, Eaton Corporation. Can we have another round of applause for our presenting sponsor, Eaton? Thank you so much again to our presenting sponsor, Eaton. And thank you to our wonderful board chairs, Amanda and Joe, and all of our board members. Equality Ohio is truly fortunate to have you. Hello, everyone. My name is Elena Jochum. My pronouns are she, her, and I am Equality Ohio's Executive Director, and I'm so happy to be here tonight. Welcome to Ohio Allies and Advocates 2022. Woo! It is truly wonderful to be hosting an event in Southwest Ohio and to see you all here in person and online. I know there are some virtual watch parties happening here. Thank you for tuning in, and a huge shout out to PFLAG Watch Party in Northeast Ohio, supporting specifically Jane Daroff. I want to also say thank you to our elected leaders who are here in the room today. Cincinnati Council Member Reginald Harris, if you would stand here, Reggie. Woo! Pavan Parikh, I'm not sure if he's still here, but he was here. There he is. And Commissioner Denise Driehaus, everything that you do for LGBTQ equality is why we are making progress. I also want to remember and honor a former Westerville City Council member, Alex Heckman, who lost his life tragically in an accident a few weeks ago. Alex helped Westerville lead the way for LGBTQ equality, passing one of the first fully inclusive ordinances outside of Columbus in Central Ohio. We miss you, Alex, and we pause a moment in your memory. To say that this is a wild time in our fight for LGBTQ equality would be the understatement of the year. I want to give you an illustration of what we're seeing across the country, courtesy of our dear friends at Movement Advancement Project who track this. This first slide is a simple reminder that baseline equality still depends on your home state of residence, even today in 2022. We've got good supportive green along the coasts, red in the deep south, and a pale, bland color for Ohio here at home. Now take a look at this slide. This slide illustrates the number of states that have passed bills prohibiting transgender youth from playing sports. In the orange is where these laws have passed. I have been doing this work for more than 20 years. Never have I seen a time when more than 18 of any anti-LGBTQ bill actually passed. Ohio remains in the beige color. We have held the line on these bills. And now this slide. This one shows where bills that outlaw gender-affirming care for our transgender youth have passed. 3 states to date, including one that has made giving this life-saving care to be a felony. Again, we have not seen this pass in Ohio. Finally, this slide illustrates curriculum laws across the country. Green on the coasts, where we affirmatively celebrate LGBTQ history and heritage. Red in the south, where don't say gay, don't mention race have become the law of the land. Ohio stands out in its blandness. We haven't passed that law here. Let me be clear, it is not because these laws are not pending here. They are, and our opposition thought that it would be a slam dunk to pass them in our conservative-controlled House and Senate. They were wrong. And that is saying something, because our opposition has only gotten stronger in the past year. The so-called Citizens for Christian Virtue have invested $5 million in a building across from the State House. And they're even trying to copy our playbook by galvanizing business support. You can see in this slide here, they are literally trying to, quote, reclaim the nation, end quote, for their version of God's glory, and build a theocracy from Ohio. So why haven't these bills passed in Ohio? You. You are the difference. We, together, in this room, collectively, are the reason Ohio has held the line. Each of us together in this room taking our own actions to protect our LGBTQ youth at the State House through testimony, phone calls, emails to your legislators, work with your local councils. Now, look, we're still fighting for the basics. We don't even yet have basic non-discrimination protection statewide. We're still working for the Ohio Fairness Act to become law. But that hasn't stopped you. That hasn't stopped you with partnering with Equality Ohio in 35 localities across the state to make our local laws inclusive and protective of the LGBTQ community. In fact, our very own Cincinnati, right here just this year, passed an update to their non-discrimination code, making it a model for LGBTQ legislation in the country. That's what happens when you elect fair-minded council members. These are the victories Equality Ohio is helping to make possible even in this difficult time. But the work is not over. Our legal clinic is serving more than 700 LGBTQ Ohioans each year, directly connecting our community with legal guidance and help. We have an election around the corner, and we need you to vote in it, especially in our Supreme Court race. We need you to use our 2022 scorecard to help you vote for fair-minded leaders at every level of government who will support LGBTQ equality. Do not leave this room without your copy. We are about to enter lame duck, the political period when bills move quickly, and we need you to be making calls. Calls to your House and Senate leadership to ensure these terrible bills do not move an inch. I'm asking you to take photos of this slide. Literally, get out your phones. Take a photo of this one and the next one. We're going to go back and forth. I need you to be calling Senate President Matt Huffman and House Speaker Bob Cupp relentlessly, reminding them that you are watching. You are watching because every call to them matters, especially as we go into lame duck. And just yesterday, we learned our state school board is trying to erase our transgender youth in our classrooms, literally trying to codify away our kids. We are showing up in force on Tuesday at that board meeting. Here on this slide is how you can help. And simply that is what we do. Equality Ohio is always here, always vigilant, always watching guard over our community and the pernicious ways our opposition is trying to creatively attack us. EO staff, can you raise your hands? Yeah, there you are. Look around this room. These are just some of the many on our team who are fighting for you, for us, for freedom every day in Ohio. Can we give these fine folks a round of applause? I could not be more proud of this team, this work, and especially in this moment. We are fierce, fabulous, and passionate, and we lead from a place of love because we know that love wins, and love will always overcome those who oppose us because they are coming from fear and misguidance. And love, my friends, love will always rise above that. Speaking of love in action, I wonder if the Zelch family might stand up and maybe come to the front of the room. I want to introduce you to a family. You too, Caleb. I want to introduce you to a family that could not better embody love that this moment requires. Meet Minna, Ember, and Caleb, the Zelch family. One of the horrible bills in our state house is trying to deny our transgender youth the ability to play sports. In fact, it's taking aim at one girl in Ohio who has been playing softball with her friends, safely and happily, without issue, for years. That girl is Ember, and she's right here with us tonight. She and her family have been bravely willing to tell their story to the world and to legislators seeking to move this bill. That story, my friends, is changing the way people in power understand this falsified issue. And it's why we've been able to prevent this bill moving today. Ember made a video. Let's take a minute and watch. Sorry for the tech issues, friends.
YouTube TV has no hidden fees and includes unlimited DVR space. YouTube TV, try it free.
What I love most about softball as a catcher is that moment when the ball has just been let go from the pitcher's hand and it is flying through the air, coming straight towards you. And you know that that ball is the center of the game. Everyone has their eyes on it. Everyone wants to know what is about to happen. And everyone just holds their breath. And everything just slows until it stops.
Yeah, so most of her life, Ember's been a bit of an adrenaline junkie. She was always kind of the kid we had to, somewhat calm down a little. And that's pretty much what life has been like with her since she could walk.
My name is Ember Zelch. I am a junior in high school. I use she, they pronouns. I am one of the few trans athletes in Ohio, and I am a catcher for a high school softball team.
So we live in a small town in Northeast Ohio. We've been here for just over 7 years, and we love it here. We've got trees all around. We have a little lake. We've got lots of metro parks and county parks that we can go to for hiking and biking and just getting outdoors. And it's just a great place to be.
So I started to realize I was a little different around 5th grade. Through research and friends, I was able to find terms that kind of helped describe what I was feeling, terms relating to gender identity and sexuality.
The best advice I have for any family who has a child who comes out as transgender is just to love them. Just let them know that no matter what, you're going to love them and help them through this. So the Ohio High School Athletic Association has had policies for transgender athletes for at least 6 years now. And if you're a trans female, you basically have to get a letter from your doctor proving that either you have been on estrogen for at least a year, or that you don't have more testosterone in your system than a cisgender female of about the same age.
So, when I found out I was approved to play, I was sitting upstairs in my room doing homework, just like any day after school, and Mom comes in and she shows me the email, and I read it, and we both just burst into tears, just hugging and sobbing. Being able to play on a girls' team is absolutely amazing. It's a total dream. I feel at home and I can be myself and push myself every day to do my best. And I don't have to put on a mask or pretend to be someone else to enjoy the sport that I love. Softball has been a place where I have been able to come into myself and gain more confidence, and I've been able to get a lot of friends that I would have never interacted with outside of softball. We push each other to do the best, and we give each other pointers and hints and help, and I'm just like anyone else.
The main thing I'd suggest is let your kids know you love them. You don't have to understand it. It's not easy. I'm so sorry. I knew I was gonna cry. Even if you have to tell them, look, I don't understand. I want to learn more, but I will love you no matter what, and I'll help you through this. And that's probably the most advice I have. You're the parent, and your job is to protect them and keep them safe, and that's not always easy to do. And so helping them understand, situations where it might be safe to tell people or safe to talk to people.
We are normal kids just trying to have fun and be ourselves. Just trying to get through life and figure out our hobbies and our passions and our values and our goals. We aren't trying to hurt anybody. We're just trying to feel safe and like ourselves.
Having her be able to finally play has just been amazing as a parent. She's kind of a different person on the field in a little bit. She gets so focused and she just lights up, but I can tell like she's in the zone, so to speak. And it's just awesome to see her having that experience and just having friends and having something to look forward to that's not just academics and schoolwork. And the main thing I want everyone to know is that transgender athletes are just athletes. They're just kids, just like all the other kids. You know, they just want to be able to play and just experience this part of our culture that is so important for so many kids in our country.
Well, Reggie, I don't know about you, but that is quite the story of love in action. Hi, my name is Siobhan Boyd Nelson. I use she, her pronouns, and I have the honor of serving Equality Ohio as Deputy Director.
And I'm Reggie Harris. Welcome to Cincinnati, folks. Ohio allies and advocates, you are here in the Queen City. I'm Reggie Harris. I'm a Cincinnati City Council member, the first openly gay black man elected to city office in the history of City of Cincinnati. And I'm even more proud to be standing in front of you as a former board chair for Equality Ohio. So give that a round of applause. You know, we just watched this video and I was sitting with my dear friend Renee, and you know, she was moved, and you feel the silence over the room, you feel the hush. We have real lives here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your bravery. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you, Mom. The thing that I learned about being on the board of Equality Ohio is this thing, is that for every story that you read in your local newspaper, we fought back for. Listen to this. For every time you read about a bill that is being proposed that is homophobic and anti-trans, the team at Equality Ohio have spent countless hours at the State House blocking for that you never heard of. That is how serious this moment is and the attack on human lives is. And there's real labor, there's real human capital, there's real emotions on the line. When we say they are fighting back, let me tell you what's happening. Elena, who's a wife and a mom and who has a family, crisscrosses the state, goes to the State House, she camps out, and she literally finds state reps and she says, listen, you don't want to do this. Why are you doing this? And we 365. And then the folks who serve on the board, we're always on the horn. What can we do? What favor can we call? Who do we know? And then the staff members are doing research, case law, best practice. How do we fight this? Right? So you say, you're sitting here and you guys are with me, you're feeling this, but the reason that Equality Ohio is able to do this is because we pay folks for their time, for their labor, for their emotional labor. So for every time that you have turned on the news and you have been dismayed by the bills, anti-trans, homophobic bills that are coming across, I want you to tap into that moment and then tap into your wallet. Because here's the thing, I did a giggle, it was a good laugh, it was a good line, it was a good line. I ask people for money all the time. But here's the thing, because you say, well, this shouldn't be. This shouldn't be. What can I do? What can I do? You can give to Equality Ohio. So everybody got one of these in your program, yes? Do you have one? Here. Luckily, Rick, I have one here. And there are pins on your table. I'm going to pass these out. We have a goal. Before we end, we're going to raise an additional $10,000. Now, you don't have to do it collectively. Now, my friend here, if he wants to write a check for $10,000, I would gladly accept it. I won't say no. But I believe in a collective effort. So maybe you say, Reggie, I only got 5 on it. Put 5 down. We'll take it. You say, maybe I know Ryan. He's a neighbor. He says, Reggie, you can only hit me up for $150. Ryan, I'll take that. Thank you. Yes. Thank you very much. My pitch is done. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Reggie. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, everyone. Here's the amazing thing. The gifts, like Reggie said, any gift of any size, any way that you can channel that energy of this isn't right. How dare they come after our kids? How dare they tell lies about our truth? Equality Ohio was born from the desire to never again allow other people to tell lies about our lived reality, about our truth. And they haven't been able to do it for 15 years. They're not going to be able to do it for another 15 years. And that is because everyone in this room is committed as either an ally or an advocate to legal and lived equality for every single Ohioan. So please, grab your programs, grab your donation cards. We've got a really easy QR code on the back. You can text "We Say A and A" to 44321. So please, pull out your phones. Grab your text messages, text "We Say A and A" to 44321 to join us, to get engaged, to be part of this movement, because we're not just moving forward, we are playing defense, and that is part of the game. You have to play defense as well as offense. And for anyone who does donate this evening in the room, you're getting a t-shirt courtesy of Equality Ohio. You can see it back there in the corner. It says, "I am not a divisive concept." So if you have made a donation, just let a staff member know. Let them know what size you want, from small to 2XL, and we are going to hand you a t-shirt today. Thank you so much. Who else is donating? Who's getting those t-shirts? Let me see those hands in the air. All right. Thank you so much for fueling Equality Ohio and making this an amazing evening so far. We are just getting started, y'all. This is just the start of our program. Let's get to our allies and advocates, our honorees for the evening. And if you will give us just a second with our technical, and we are going to bring them up. We have 10 beautiful allies and advocates from across the state. We are going to start right here in Southwest Ohio with our own Heather Britt, who is our Ally of the Year in Southwest Ohio. Just a moment. And if any of our honorees are in the room with us this evening, would you please come on up and grab your award when you see your video start? So if Heather's in the room with us this evening, please come on up.
I have a dance studio called Dance Fix. It's a dance workout program that I've started here in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I also teach dance to all different levels of people, choreograph. So I'm Heather Britt, and I am a dancer, choreographer. I have a dance studio called Dance Fix. It's a dance workout program that I've started here in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I also teach dance to all different levels of people, choreograph for Cincinnati Ballet, different ballet companies around the country. Thank you so much for this award from Equality of Ohio. I'm just so honored to receive it. It has been my mission with my business and me as a human being to create a safe place for people from all backgrounds to feel comfortable and to express themselves through dance. And I'm so excited to be recognized for that. I made it my goal to create a similar atmosphere that I am comfortable in and that that the arts could help create, which is to pull people in from different backgrounds that have not been introduced to each other in a different way, but had this common goal of wanting to dance and wanting community and wanting a safe space to do that and to express themselves. And
Thank you, Heather. So I did take a little prerogative and privilege to just say, Heather Britt is a dear friend of mine, and if you live in Cincinnati, you live in this region, she is a true celebrity and rock star. You saw Dance Fix dancing outside before we came here. I take Dance Fix, I teach Dance Fix, but one of the reasons why Heather is truly an ally is because in her illustrious career as a dancer and a choreographer, she was also a professor of dance at Northern Kentucky University. And over the time that I have known Heather, I have met a lot of her students. And she mentored and created a space for so many young queer students that they found each other and fell in love. Some of them got married in Dance Fix. They found them true selves, and that was just what Heather did. And so it is such an honor and such a privilege to recognize you here in Cincinnati as an ally for 2022. Heather, we love you. We appreciate you. You are a true gem to this city.
Where's Megan? There you are. Let's get you going.
Audience, and specifically with my content creation, the LGBTQ plus community. What's weird is that all I'm doing is just sharing my story and focusing on things that I care about, right? And so when I think about honoring me, it feels like I should have been more hard at work with more progress, or holding, protest sign or pitchfork or something, which is also so critical to the movement, but I'm literally making TikToks. I mean, to be recognized in that way and to have other people say, hey, what you're doing matters, means everything. If one person, specifically one queer person, woman, non-binary person in the Cincinnati or Ohio area can look at what I'm doing and think, oh my gosh, she's getting recognized for something that, I've been so scared to tell my parents, then that's amazing. I'm doing my job. See all at Great American Ballpark.
Megan, we're so proud of you. Thank you for all that you give to this community, to this work, and to the state of Ohio. Congratulations from all of us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Woo! Oh. What part of the state we're going to next?
I go with she, her pronouns.
Southeast
I
Ohio.
live in Vienna, West Virginia, and work in both West Virginia and Ohio with OutMOV, which is a 501c4 advocacy and social group here in the Mid-Ohio Valley. I'm so very grateful to accept the award this evening. It is gratifying to be recognized for the work that I've done in Ohio, although I don't feel like it's nearly as much as I'd like to be able to do. I feel like here in Appalachia, in rural Ohio and rural West Virginia, we face some different challenges, and I'm grateful to see the organization recognize the work that many of us are trying to do here. I think it's really hard. When they called me, I was like, I don't live in Ohio, but I do work there, and I try to uplift other people's work there. So hopefully, I think Appalachia too, it's hard for people to understand how interconnected we all are. We have more in common vis-a-vis the region than we do state boundaries.
Jean, you've left your imprint all over Ohio. We hope that you're watching here tonight. Thank you so much for all that you have given to LGBTQ equality.
I'm Wolf Star. I am the
Wolf, get up here.
CEO of Atlas Venture Partners. We work with other venture firms to create funds for underrepresented communities. Our first was the Pride Fund, and I'm extremely proud of the work that we get to do to empower and uplift the LGBTQ plus community using venture dollars as a resource which traditionally have been harder to find. So thank you. This means a lot. Before I was an ally to the community was an ally to me. I would get off the bus and be picked up by my gunkles, and we would go to their swimming pools until they kicked us out at 5 o'clock for adult swim. And then through the years, I was just able to continue to grow and learn from our neighbors, from our gants and our gunkles, and really figure out who I was in partnership with who they were and who they were being. So when I had the opportunity to move into venture and start investing into companies, I knew the community, which I really wanted to support first. And those were the ones who supported me. And so it's an honor to receive this recognition. It's a surprise. Thank you, Siobhan. Thank you, team. But if there's anything which I could do, it would just be to encourage our allies to grow their way into becoming advocates and then to become accomplices with the community, because there's so much that the community does for us, and it's our opportunity and responsibility to do that for them.
Wolf, you're truly not just an ally, you're an accomplice. We're so proud of you. Thank you.
My name is Chris Goins. I'm the president and director of Black Trans Men of Ohio. Us over at Black Trans Men of Ohio, pretty much, just to keep it simple, our mission really is to increase the visibility and equality of Black trans masculine individuals throughout the community by building, through community building, mentorship, and providing access to resources throughout the state of Ohio. So yeah, that's just a little bit about who we are and where we're trying to go in our mission at Black Trans Men of Ohio. I want to say, thank you for this award. It was very unexpected, as I'm so focused into, providing and being there for getting my organization going, that it's kind of mind blowing to get that recognition when I do receive it, because I feel like my work is just getting started and I'm not done yet. So just these little recognitions just motivates me to keep going, and that what I'm doing is making a difference and is getting noticed, to where that if the community is noticing it, then hopefully there's community people within the Black trans masculine community that sees it too and can get the resources and help that my organization can provide.
Give it up for Chris Goins. Woo! Chris is shy and running away. We could not be prouder to partner with Chris and Black Trans Men of Ohio as one of the most powerful organizations up and coming in Central Ohio. Thank you so much for what you do every day, Chris.
My name is Vera Lucia Mendoza. I live in Toledo, Ohio.
Vera Lucia.
I have been here about 20 years. And my work in Toledo has been all over the place, in the sense that I really believe that we can live in a better world, in a better Toledo and a better Ohio. And I sort of stick in my hands wherever I can when it comes to social justice. And I am also an openly queer Latinx person in Ohio, which creates a different experience for me. It is an honor to accept this award from Equality Ohio. To be honest, I don't do this work to get recognized. I don't do this work to be seen. I do this work because it is the way that queer people survive, is by being front and center in the movement. But it is an honor to be seen either way and to be celebrated by my community. Thank you so much for considering me and awarding this to me.
Vera Lucia, congratulations, felicidades from a fellow Latina here in Southwest Ohio. We can't wait to get this to you. Thank you so much. We hope you're watching.
I'm Jane Dara. I'm a late onset graduate of the School of Social Work at Case Western Reserve University, and have been subsequently involved in the school in various capacities. I spent 25 years as a clinical social worker at the Case Western Reserve University Counseling Service. Being recognized as the 2022 Northeast Ohio Equality Ally for what I love to do is a thrill and an honor. I'd like to thank or show my appreciation to Elena, Joe, Nathan, the rest of the board, and those who are supportive of Equality Ohio. Helping people improve their lives has been my life work and passion. Watching LGBT folks learn to feel okay about themselves and helping their families understand that they did not do anything wrong. They just have a great kid who loves differently.
We are so proud of you, and I'm taking a point of personal privilege. I wouldn't be here doing this work but for you. This is to you with gratitude from all of us. Thank you for saving so many lives, especially those in Northeast Ohio through your work with PFLAG.
My name is Steve Arrington. My real name is Stanford Steve, but everybody calls me Steve. My mother calls me Stanford. I am 70 years old, and I've been HIV positive for the last 34 years. I've been a community mobilizer, activist, and a cheerleader for social justice issues most of my life. I'm honored to be selected for this award. I was very humbled about that. And when I accepted standing on the shoulders of my ancestors. I accepted standing on the shoulders of all my friends and other people who have perished from HIV/AIDS. I accepted on standing on the shoulders of all the Black, gay, and lesbian activists that I have admired over the years. So I'm honored, and I accept it for that because the combination of their input into me helps me mold me to be focused on the mission that I'm doing.
Steve, we couldn't be more proud of you. We know you couldn't be here tonight. We hope you're watching. Keith, thank you for coming on Steve's behalf and accepting this award for him.
Thank you.
I'm Emily Spivak. I am an attorney at Squire Patton Boggs in Cleveland, and my practice is really focused on working with schools. So I do some work in the higher ed context, but mostly I work with K-12 public schools to help them run as smoothly as possible and to make them as welcoming an environment for all of their students and staff as possible. It is really an honor to receive this award. To me, defending LGBTQ rights really is important on three levels. I mean, first, it's just a matter of upholding the law, and for me, helping schools understand what the law means for them. The second, the notion of increasing equality and equity in our society, I think is critically important. And then the third is, it's just sort of common sense in being a good person. And so it's truly an honor to be recognized in this way. It really reaffirms values that I've held dear for a long time.
Shout it out for you, Emily. There is no rest for the weary. We know we've already got a lot of work to do together next week. Thank you for all you do to protect our kiddos and our schools. And shout out to your colleagues at Squire. Thank you for supporting Emily in this legal work.
I'm Matthew Green. I'm an associate professor of law at the Cleveland Marshall College of Law. I've been here for about 14 years. I teach first-year contracts, and I teach a course on employment law. I teach also employment discrimination. And a few years ago, I developed a course on workplace discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity. A lot's changed since then, since the pre-Bostic v. Clayton County years. And I research principally in the area of employment discrimination. And I've also written and published a book chapter on discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity in the workplace. And I certainly accept the award. I was pleased and surprised when Alana reached out to me. It means a lot. I'm familiar with the great work that Equality Ohio does across the state in advancing the rights of LGBTQ plus individuals, and I care about these issues very much. So to be recognized by Equality Ohio is an honor.
Professor Green, we are so proud to honor you and thank you for training the next generation of legal scholars to be the advocates like you are. So proud of you, Professor Green. Thank you for being our inaugural legal ally and advocate, Professor Green and Emily. Thank you so much for celebrating all across Ohio. I'm going to turn this back to Siobhan.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you. And now to close out our program, and can we have another warm round of applause for all of our allies and advocates across the state of Ohio? I forget how short I am, who are doing amazing work. Thank you to all of you. And now I want to welcome...
Further along than we were back in 1998 when we lost Matt. You walk down the street and you see two young ladies or two young men holding hands. And you celebrate. You go to a wedding of two young ladies or two young men, and you celebrate. Things that would never have happened in 1998. We have laws now, including the Matthew Shepard James Byrd Jr. Hate Crimes Prevention Act, which Judy worked heart and soul to get passed. And I have to do an aside real quick. Judy sends her apologies. She had to change her schedule to come here last week because Uncle Joe invited her to the White House. She was there today for the first hate crimes summit at the White House. And at the end of it, she was brought up on stage and recognized for being a uniter. It's nice to get that recognition, but as all of you know, you'd rather be what you truly are, which is boring. I mean, straight or gay, you get up, you go to work, you come home, you read the paper, watch TV, and go to bed and get up next morning. Are you male or female? Are you straight or gay? Who cares? You're both boring. And that's the important thing to bring out. And that's one of the things that's happened over the 25 years. People are recognizing that you're just people, straight or gay. You just want to have friends and family, have a career, and die with a smile on your face. And that's the biggest change right now.
What do you... Absolutely. What do you believe is Matthew's legacy here, and what do you want Matthew's legacy to be?
What do I want Matt's legacy to be? Matt was opposite of his mother. She is a 15 on a 10 scale introvert, believe it or not. Matt would know everybody in here in about 25 minutes. Matt didn't recognize religion, skin color, or anything else. He was phenomenal that way. He just saw a person for a person, somebody he wanted to be his friend, and he could talk to and learn. He can't live everybody's life, but he can learn from them and use that for his own self. He was different, and he understood that, and he was proud of being different. And he couldn't understand why young people were pushed down and pushed away because they were considered different. My gosh, look around here. I don't see any identical twins in here. And even if you were, you're not identical. So that's the most important thing about him, is to remember that he saw people for people. He didn't see people for the differences that they have. What he did recognize that those differences are what made them special. And that's what you need to know here, and you need to push. Everybody is different, and we should be celebrating that and not pushing people away and pushing them down for being different.
Got one more question for you, because I heard that you have a heart for young people, particularly young athletes. And so I just wanted to, from your perspective, what can all of us do, those of us in this room, what can we do to be loving, protecting, to have a heart for young people today in this environment that they're growing up in, with the laws that we talked about, that Elena talked about earlier, that are pending? What's your best advice for us for how we can show young people that we have their backs?
The path forward that you can show young people is to live your life in public. And it's hard for me as a straight man to understand what the LGBTQ community is going through in states like Texas and Florida and through the South, including Wyoming. Still no hate crime law in Wyoming, where you have to live a double life, where you have to watch what you say, where you go, who you're with, what you have on your desk at work, what you do at home, how you dress, how you speak, who you talk to, and what stories you tell. You need to be able to be yourself and be an example. And it's hard to do that in a state like Wyoming or a state like Ohio, when even though you can be married today, when you go to work the next day to try and put your new spouse, if you're same-sex marriage, onto your insurance, you're fired. In 30-some states, you can still be fired for being gay. Now, how is that a way to encourage young people to be themselves? They should all be supported and learn about how important it is to be themselves. They should not be pushed down and pushed away because they're different, as I said before. They should be encouraged and given an equal chance to succeed. If they fail, it's because of the choices they make in life, their lack of initiative, not because they are different, because they don't have the right shoes, they have patches on their pants because of the color of their skin, the religion they believe in, or anything else. The national treasure of this country, our national treasure, are young people. If we don't support them and encourage them, we lose our young people. And in the LGBT community, the suicide rate is so much higher than in the straight community, and the transgender suicide rate is so much higher overall in the LGBTQ community. That's national treasure we are losing with all their ideas and all the entrepreneurship and all their desire to help the community that they live in. If we lose our young people, we become a third-rate country quickly. And we need to change that. How do you change it? You tell your story, you be yourself, you support them, and please, by gosh, vote. And if you have to, bring others who can't get there to vote so they can vote. But you have to vote and change, and not just at the national level. The most important changes you can make are at the local level. City council, PTA, whatever it might be. Because when you change your community for example, you have non-discrimination. But that's really nice to have, but it's not a state law. So how much power do you have in Cincinnati? If you don't change at the local level and support those people as they go up higher into the state and into the national, you have not done your job. So you need to vote. You need to support. If you don't want to run for office, and ladies, please run for office, whether it's PTA or not. We have too much testosterone in this country. Way too much. We need the women's point of view, because in a lot of cases, for example, I'm a prime example that I married above myself in intelligence. If we don't have that, we are not giving everybody an equal chance. We have to work with the marginalized communities. And ladies, you are a marginalized community in Ohio and in this country. So you need to change that. We need to vote, and we need to talk about it, and we need to make the change to support these young people, to show them they can make change, that they have the power. Old geezers like me, old gray-haired, white guys, the best thing we can happen is to die off. Honest. Because they're putting in laws in effect that the young people don't understand and don't want. So now they have to spend all their time changing those laws. Let's get rid of old geezers now so you don't have to put those laws in effect. I know it sounds bad, but it's true.
Thank you so much, Dennis. Oh my goodness. If that isn't a word right there, y'all. We got to be out here. We need to be living our lives boldly and visibly. We need to show up at our city council meetings and our school board meetings, and then we need to vote, right? Thank you. Is that right? Did I get all three of those? Yes, wonderful. Thank you. Another round of applause for Dennis Shepard of the Matthew Shepard Foundation. Please give our love to Judy.
One more thing. Yes. Thank you. I'm honored to be here. Like I said, Judy, as disappointed as you couldn't be. I've got to ask you a couple quick questions. How many of you have had wine here tonight? How many of you have had a mixed drink here tonight? How many of you have had a beer here tonight? And how many of you have a beer, mixed drink, or wine during the week? Say a bottle of wine a week or something like that. What I'm saying is back off. I want you to take the money that you would spend for 1 week on wine, mixed drinks, beer, or all of them in a week, get into an automatic withdrawal account and send it to Equality Ohio. They need that money. It's simple. It comes out of your account. It's not much, but it adds up. And that money is spent to help everybody here. Whether you're straight or gay, it helps everybody make change. So please, help Equality Ohio. And thank you so much for having me here tonight.
Thank you so much. Give it up for Dennis Shepard. Thank you. Thank you. And everyone, I want to thank you. You came out tonight, you dressed to express, you look absolutely amazing. You have opened up your wallet, you have given, you have cheered, you have honored these amazing allies and advocates from around the state of Ohio. A round of applause to all of you in the room tonight, this evening. That concludes our program. We are going to release you to continue meeting new friends. Let's take on Matthew's spirit. Let's meet all the people in the room this evening. Let's say hello to your old friends. Grab another bite or another drink before you go. And thank you for joining us for 2022 Ohio Allies and Advocates. Have a beautiful, beautiful evening.